AI. It's been around for a few years now. ChatGPT 3 came out a few years back. But in 2026, how is AI going to affect civilization in general? And more importantly, how is it going to affect me as a loner living the loner life? Hey, and welcome to episode 11 of my series where I talk for about 10 minutes every day, unscripted and unedited, just to practice talking really, and talk about some topics, talk them through. Today's a bit off script from the inspiration that I've been working towards, and that's something I'll link in the video description. But recently in my workplace, we were all offered the opportunity to apply to an AI Essentials apprenticeship. So a 13-month course on the essentials of AI, how the employer thinks we should be able to use it, the ethics behind it, how they plan on using it, and so on and so forth. And they of course emphasized this is not with the point of trying to replace jobs, but to allow higher work to take place. Yeah, I'll see how that goes. But yeah, I was just going to talk in this video then about my thoughts on AI, my fears, the bad, the good, perhaps a lot of one or the other, but I'd like to perhaps try and end on some optimism, or at least see the optimism in the negative points. So let's start. To begin with, I've had a lot of fear about AI recently with regards to, one's digital footprint. So what do I mean by that? I was thinking about AI image analysis a few weeks or months ago now, actually just when I started this channel, and that is the main reason why I'm not doing a face channel at the moment. Maybe I'll change in the future, but we'll see. But my fear is that, okay, work with me now. If you Google reverse image search your face, wherever it appears on the internet, there's a chance that you might be able to find it. Now, this isn't necessarily the case at the moment with Google's current reverse image search tools, but could an employer do that? Does the technology exist using this AI language model, software in order to do such a thing and see every single place you've ever been or appeared on the internet at least? And I was watching some videos by Zach Rios, I think. He looks like, TikTok commentary. So it's the kind of brain rot stuff I'm watching in my spare time. And there are some videos about employers and people posting on TikTok, something along those lines. But there was one particular video that stood out in my mind, and it seems like this technology that I'm weirdly, irrationally fearing is perhaps perfectly rational these days. So people were able to, there must be some software available that the average person doesn't have access to, using these AI tools to find, any examples that you've been in the past. So this particular employer was dealing with an employee's application, found an image of their face, reverse searched it, and found that they were in some sort of controversial protest just somewhere in the background in the past. And that terrified me. If that's what's being used at the moment, by companies, perhaps it's going to become more and more widespread in the future. And perhaps it won't be limited to just your face. So your handwriting, so your signature, it could, could they search anywhere it's appeared in the past? Your voice, could they easily take a sample of your voice from, let's say, a video you've made, or not a video you've made for the company. So let's say they had an interview, an online meeting or something. Could they take that and find everything you've ever said? So even my faceless channel is at risk. Could my employer find all this information about me? And this is kind of terrifying for me. I am slightly optimistic in some respects, at least from the perspective of my own opinion or myself. So as a loner, because number one, I don't particularly work in a lucrative field, and I don't think that they're ever going to use this technology unless it becomes incredibly cheap to vet their employees. And to be honest, I'm not like the youngest person anymore. I think that I will have outaged this when it becomes an issue. But man, I feel really bad about the young people trying to get into my industry or any industry at the moment or in the future. So the Gen Alphas, the Gen Betas, oh God, it's going to be tough for them perhaps. But then once this becomes common knowledge, providing the education sector is like, you know, actually teaching people useful life skills, perhaps this will lead to just people being online a lot less, like not oversharing things online. They might look back on, this current time period and be like, what the heck were those people doing? Why were they sharing such personal information and putting themselves in situations that are going to get them, disadvantaged in the future? Why would they do that? People might be more disciplined and they just might be more offline, and maybe that's a really good thing actually. AI will just cannibalize itself in that respect, and I guess employers, how are they gonna discriminate against workers anymore? People will have to do handwritten applications, have in-person interviews. Man, maybe society always does just drift back to that sort of thing. Wow. Yeah, just talking these things through actually puts my mind at ease quite a lot. So yeah, the next thing about AI then, I suppose, is this huge fear that it's gonna collapse the global economy. So let's say you look at the history of the economy of the last 20, 30 years. We had the dot-com crash when, lots of internet or alleged internet companies were getting pumped, and then the bubble popped and lots of people lost lots of money. We had the real estate market getting pumped in 2007, 2008. All these sketchy loans going on in the background. I don't fully understand it. Like, I'm not an expert in finance. I wouldn't listen to anything I say when it comes to investing or personal finance. This is just for entertainment, of course. But in the current day, like, we had the great pandemic where money was getting printed like absolute crazy, and it had all the hallmarks of, us needing to have some kind of financial correction in the financial markets. But nothing really happened. Like, it kind of stagnated for a bit, and then the AI sort of came out and the markets just went back to pumping. So a rational interpreter of the financial markets might look at it and say, wow, we appear to be in some kind of bubble similar to the dot-com bubble or the tulip bubble. Like, my tulip stocks are terrible at the moment. I shouldn't have bought all those tulip bulbs. But I think that the difference here is that all companies are massively, massively invested in this, and it's almost too big to fail in some respect. But also AI, it is being used. So, like, people are using it in some rational ways. Like this AI apprenticeship I'm being put on. It's not because where I work has absolutely no idea what AI is. They hear it as some sort of buzzword and need to start, getting people aware of it. Like, maybe that was the case when the internet first became commercially available. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think it will be, all these doomers. Of course there will be some market corrections in the future and crashes. There always are. Like, that's just the market cycle in general. But I don't think it will be a AI related one, at least not yet. But this is just my own personal opinion. I think things will be fine for now, albeit I think they'll stagnate a bit, because some valuations seem to be a bit absurd at the moment, all these like trillion-dollar companies and such. Like, where's the earnings? What's going to happen? But yeah, that's the second sort of massive fear of AI, really. There are some optimistic opinions which I think are actually perhaps unwarranted. There is this belief that, perhaps once AI becomes really good, it can do all the work and we don't have to work anymore, like, as people. We still need to spend money, so the governments will just give us money to spend on goods and services, the old universal basic income concept. But I don't know, I think this is one of the things I'm somewhat pessimistic about. Every time a new groundbreaking technology has been introduced, it hasn't necessarily led to less work, like, necessarily. I suppose when people were working in like coal mines and factories and such, like 12-hour days, like, indentured servants pretty much, things have got better since then with the introduction of like factory automation, health and safety standards, and so on and so forth, like workplace safety standards, child labour laws, so they're not getting stuck in chimneys and such. But I think that work will just change a bit, and this was something that was emphasised during the introductory talk to my AI apprenticeship thing. I mean, I haven't necessarily got this apprenticeship, but I'll keep you guys updated if I do get it. If I don't, I'll be a bit sad, but I'll just continue this channel because I do quite like talking on this channel. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I really don't think there's going to be some sort of revolution in terms of not having to go to work anymore, unfortunately. I think the work will just change slightly. Not that that's unfortunate, because to be honest, I do find quite a lot of purpose in my work. I enjoy my job. I enjoy working in science. And I found that, let's say, during the great pandemic, when I was laid off, well, not laid off, sorry, I was under furlough for quite a long time. It was tough, just being alone in my room for months and months on end. No one to talk to, nothing to do, getting bored of all the TV series and such. But yeah, those are my current thoughts on AI. I would like to expand upon this because this was just my stream of thought. But some of these ideas I would like to develop further and make proper videos on in the future. How, as a loner, I'm impacted by AI. What could the impact be? What does the future hold for us? But until then, that's me for today, and I'll be back tomorrow.